My wife spent 3 days showing up for her friend's wedding. 3 days. For outfit changes. For rounds of hair and makeup. Early mornings, late nights, sore feet, and a smile plastered on her face through every single moment of it. And after all of that, her friend looked her up and down, tilted her head, and said, "Oh, hi, babe. Wow, you look comfy." That was it. That was the moment I decided. This woman was going to spend the next several years of her life genuinely unsure whether I like her or not. If you've ever watched someone you love get quietly humiliated and had to just smile and swallow it, this story is for you. No explosions, no dramatic confrontations, just slow, deliberate, surgical payback that keeps on giving. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and stay with me, because this one is deeply, deeply satisfying. Let me set the scene for you. My wife has a friend. Let's call her Vanessa. And Vanessa is the kind of person who exists at the center of every room she walks into. Not because she's particularly warm or funny or kind, but because she demands it. She engineered her wedding the way a general plans a military campaign. Every detail optimized, every moment choreographed, every guest conscripted into her personal celebration army. And we showed up, because that's what you do for people you care about. Or in this case, people your wife cares about. The wedding wasn't a day. It wasn't even a weekend. It was a 3-day marathon of events, each with its own dress code, its own start time, its own unspoken set of expectations. Day 1 kicked off with a dinner that didn't start until 9 o'clock at night, on a weekday, and stretched 3 full hours. And then, because apparently 3 hours of formal dining wasn't enough bonding, Vanessa announced that everyone was going dancing. Mandatory fun. The whole group was expected to follow her like a wedding parade into the night. Now, my wife and I, we are not party people. That's not a character flaw. That's just who we are. We like quiet evenings. We like being home at a reasonable hour. We like sleep. So we made our excuses, smiled, hugged Vanessa, and told her we'd see her tomorrow. You'd think that would be fine. Adults make decisions about their own energy levels. That's allowed. But the next morning, day 2, the brunch, Vanessa made sure we knew exactly what we'd missed. She gathered the group around like she was delivering a TED Talk and went on and on about the dancing. How incredible it was. How everyone was there. How even the elderly guests stayed. How children were on the dance floor. The implication floated in the air like smoke. Everyone managed to be there. Where were you? I smiled. I nodded. I sipped my coffee. My wife, bless her, smiled too. Because that's the kind of person she is. Gracious. Forgiving. Always willing to give people the benefit of the doubt. But I was filing things away. Day 2 continued. 2 ceremonies. 2, back-to-back. Hours of standing, sitting, adjusting, clapping, tearing up on cue. By the end of that evening, we were running on fumes. Not just physically tired, but that specific kind of exhaustion that comes from performing happiness for extended periods of time. The kind that settles into your jaw from smiling too long. And then came day 3, the final brunch, the finish line. We woke up that morning and looked at each other with the eyes of 2 people who had given everything and just needed to get through a few more hours. My wife got up and did her hair, did her full makeup, got into outfit number 4, her 4th carefully chosen, event-appropriate outfit in 3 days. She looked lovely. She looked put together. She looked like someone who was trying, because she was trying. She had been trying the entire time, and she was still trying now, at the end, when most people would have worn jeans and called it a day. We walked into that brunch venue. Vanessa spotted us from across the room. She walked over, and I want you to picture this, because the detail matters. The slow look up and down, the pause that lasts just a half second too long, the smile that doesn't quite reach her eyes. And then, in that particular tone that only truly passive-aggressive people have mastered, sweet on the surface, venom underneath. "Oh, hi, babe. Wow, you look comfy." My wife's face didn't break. She laughed it off. She nodded. She made some self-deprecating comment and moved on. Because that's what she does. She protects people from the consequences of their own cruelty. But I heard it, and I felt it land. I watched the tiniest flicker of something cross my wife's face before she buried it. That split second where you absorb an insult and decide whether you're going to let it hurt you. She let it go. I didn't. On the way home, my wife said, as she always does, that Vanessa was probably just stressed. Wedding planning is hard. Maybe she didn't mean it that way. Maybe we were reading too much into it. And I listened. And I nodded. and I quietly made a decision. I wasn't going to blow up. I wasn't going to call Vanessa out in front of everyone. I wasn't going to send a long text or demand an apology that would never come with any real sincerity attached to it. No, I was going to do something far more interesting. I was going to use Vanessa's own weapon against her. You see, Vanessa speaks fluent backhanded compliment. She's been practicing it for years. She knows exactly how to say something that sounds nice while making you feel small. She's perfected the art of plausible deniability, the "I was just being friendly" defense. So I decided to become fluent too. Except I was going to be better at it. The next time I saw Vanessa at a gathering, I waited for the right moment. She was talking about her skincare routine, which, to be fair, she talks about a lot. And I looked at her thoughtfully and said, "I love how you don't care about vanity. Just going with that natural look and not caring what people think. I really admire that." She paused, blinked, opened her mouth, closed it. You could actually watch the internal debate happening in real time. Was that a compliment? Was that an insult? Is he saying I look natural because I look good? Or is he saying I didn't put effort in? She settled on a cautious, "Thanks." I smiled warmly and moved on. A few months later, she showed up late to someone's birthday dinner. Made a whole entrance out of it, of course. I leaned over as she sat down and said, just loud enough for a few people to hear, "I really wish I could have your attitude about arriving whenever. I always feel this pressure to be on time. It must be so freeing." Again, the pause, the gears turning, the smile that's not sure if it should be a smile. Yeah, I just got caught up with things. No, I mean it. I admire it. And then, the masterpiece, the callback, the full circle moment that I had been saving like a fine wine. We were at a casual outdoor get-together on a warm afternoon. My wife was there, looking exactly like herself, effortless and beautiful and completely comfortable. Vanessa walked over to us, and in the middle of the conversation, I looked at Vanessa with genuine warmth in my voice and said, "You look super comfy today." Just that. The color that moved across Vanessa's face was extraordinary, because somewhere in her memory, the word comfy was attached to something. She couldn't quite locate exactly what or when, but she knew. She felt it. Her eyes cut sideways toward my wife for a fraction of a second, then back to me, searching my face for confirmation of what she suspected. I held her gaze with a pleasant, open expression. "Thank you," she said finally, in a tone that was anything but thankful. "Of course," I said, "here's what makes this work, and why it's so deeply satisfying." Vanessa can't complain. There's nothing to complain about. Every single thing I've said to her has been, on the surface, a compliment. She can't go to my wife and say, "Your husband is being mean to me," because what is she going to say? "He told me I look comfy and said he admires my attitude." The confusion, i.e. the punishment. The uncertainty, i.e. the consequence. Every time she sees me, she spends a portion of her mental energy trying to decode whether I like her or not. And the fact that she can't figure it out. That's the payback for every woman who has ever said something cruel and then hidden behind a smile. My wife doesn't know the full extent of what I've been doing. But occasionally, after an evening with Vanessa, she'll notice that Vanessa seems a little off around me. A little guarded. A little eager to please. And my wife will say, puzzled, "I think Vanessa actually really respects you." I just smile. Some people don't respond to confrontation. Some people have spent so long perfecting the art of quiet cruelty that a direct approach just gives them ammunition. But everyone understands the feeling of standing in a room, hearing something that sounds like a compliment but lands like a slap, and not being sure if you're allowed to be hurt by it. Now she knows exactly how that feels. Repeatedly, indefinitely. The score, as they say, is being settled, one perfectly calibrated compliment at a time. If this story scratched that itch for justice in exactly the right way, smash that like button and let us know in the comments. Have you ever served up slow, cold revenge that the other person never even saw coming? We want to hear it. And if you want more stories of quiet wins, unlikely justice, and satisfying paybacks, subscribe, because we've got a whole library waiting for you. See you in the next one.